All right, so in real estate, there's really two ways to get business when you're first starting off. You either get referrals and you work with people that you know, or you're gonna have to prospect, meaning send out direct mail, which is gonna cost you a lot of money, marketing, or prospecting, which is door knocking, cold calling. So I'm 20. Everyone that I know is not looking to buy a house. They're way too young or even sell a house. And number two, I'm in Orlando, so I'm away from home. So even my family's friends, they're not even in my area. So I know nobody. Referral is not an option. Number two, I don't have money to spend on marketing. Like it's really expensive to market and actually see something from it. So my only options were to door knock and cold call. And I did a lot of that. All right, so I knocked on about 250 doors a day. And when you knock on that many doors, you're gonna see some crazy shit. You're gonna run into some crazy people. So these are my two craziest stories that I experienced while door knocking in real estate. So this one neighborhood, let's start with the craziest one first. That's what you guys came for. So I got a couple complaints about knocking in neighborhoods that had no soliciting signs. So I tried to find one that had a sign, or that didn't have a sign that said no soliciting, and I did. So I'm going there, knocking in this neighborhood. Usual responses, you know, some nice people, some rude people, a lot of no answers. And I'm going down the row, and I'm knocking, and I'm walking up to this house to knock on, and the next house over that I'm going to be knocking on next after this one, the guy's already outside. But I get a quick glance at him, and he looks really creepy. Like one of his eyes is messed up, like kind of like glassed over, like might have been blind in the eye. I'm not sure, but like he looked really creepy. Almost like picture the creepiest pedophile slash creepiest murderer that you can think of, like serial killer, like crazy guy. That's what he looked like. Not saying he is, but I'm just saying this is what this guy looked like, 100%. So I'm like, fuck that. I am not knocking on this guy's door. So I skip his house after I hit his neighbor. Skip him, hit the neighbor, and hit all the rest of the houses on that street. Then I go over to the other side of the street and I'm making my way back. Now when I'm about on the other side of the street, about to cross his house, get done talking to the guy, and it wasn't the best response. So I'm a little upset, you know, because people are rude when you're door knocking. Now, not everybody's rude. To be honest, more people are nice than they are rude. I'd probably say it's maybe like, you know, 60-40, 70-30 for nice to rude. But, you know, we're humans, so we dwell on the negative people. So, where was I going? Oh, yeah. So I'm a little pissed off because I didn't get the best response to this last door. So I'm walking down the driveway. Then a car pulls up. And now I'm really pissed because they're pulling up slow and I can tell they're going to stop and they're going to say something to me. And I'm like, I don't want to hear it right now. They're going to tell me something about soliciting. Like, look, there's no soliciting in here. I'm not doing anything wrong. You know, I'm just trying, man. I'm just out here working my ass off. I'm sweating to death. And then they roll down the window and I see it's the creepy guy. And the guy's like, he's like, hey, stop right there, don't move. I'm like, well, what is this guy's deal? Like, keep in mind, I'm pissed off, and now I'm getting really pissed off because it's the creepy guy and he's stopping me. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, come on, man, you hear me? Like, I'm shouting at my pitch, you know, because like I stand quite away from the door, you know, all the way almost at the garage because I don't want to alarm people or freak people out. So I kind of shout when I give my pitch. So you can hear me, you can hear what I'm saying, and you can see like I'm wearing a blue suit, a pink shirt, a flamboyant tie, like you can see I have a realtor badge on. Like, I am trying to stand out, but for some reason he thought I was trying to rob the neighborhood. I guess maybe they had some break-ins there before, some sketchy activity like a couple months ago, or like a couple weeks ago, one of those two, I don't remember exactly, but a little bit back. And you know, he's like, hey, don't move right there. He's like, do you have any ID? I do. But I'm not gonna give him the fucking ID. This guy's creepy as hell. I don't want him knowing who I am, where I live, or anything like that. Or I don't know if he's gonna take my ID and keep it. So I tell him, like, no, I don't have any ID. Left it. And he's like, come over here. I'm like, why do you want me to come? He's like, come over here. So I walk over close to the car, and I see, like, at the bottom of the car, he's got a gun pointed at me to the side. And I'm like, so keep in mind, I was pissed as I was walking up to the car. I'm ready to kill this motherfucker. But now I can't say shit. I mean, the closest thing I have a weapon to on me is a pen. Like, that's not gonna do shit. So I'm like, look, man, I'll leave. I'm out of here. I'm just a realtor. I'm out. I'm leaving. So I'm walking away. I'm leaving. And he didn't follow me at first. But I get into my car, and then all of a sudden I see him pull up right next to me as I get into his car. He's like making sure that I'm getting in my car and I'm leaving. And I'm so mad. I'm just like, I pull out my business card. I'm like, look, bitch, it says I'm a fucking realtor. do you want one? You gonna buy a house? You gonna sell a house? Here, take my card. And I handed my card, and that was it. I left. I know the story wasn't really a big climax, but it was true. Like, I didn't want to fib it and make it sound cooler than it was, but yeah, that's what actually happened, and I thought it was pretty crazy. Getting held at gunpoint. Second crazy story that happened to me. So keep in mind, like I said before, you don't get a whole lot of nice people, but when you do, you are so grateful. So this one guy was super nice. You know, he invited me inside. He's like, yeah, man, come inside. Look at all the improvements, you know, that I've done to my home, and tell me about all the upgrades and investments that he's made. He's like, hey, what do you think this is worth? And I'm like, yeah, man, I'll tell you what I think. And real quick, the conversation changes. Like on the flip of a dime, he's like, hey, so you're kind of good looking. You have I don't see a ring. Are you married? I'm like, no. He's like, do you have a girlfriend? I'm like, no. He's like, are you gay? I'm like, no. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, positive. I'm like, are you married? He's like, no, I'm gay. I was like, okay, I see where this is going. I wanted to get the hell out of there. Like, I looked behind me, the door's shut. I'm like, ooh, this doesn't seem good. I need to get out of here. But, I mean, like, thank God he was a much shorter guy than me, and, like, I could take him if he tried some shit. Unless he had a weapon, then I would've been fucked. Oh my God, I need to get the fuck out of here. So I'm just like, oh yeah, the house is great, but hey man, I gotta go. I gotta go. And as I'm walking out the door, he's just like almost like harassing me. He's just like I guess he was looking at my ass. He's like, I was like, I just started speed walking, and then as soon as the door shut, I fucking sprinted out. But yeah, those are my two craziest stories from real estate and from door knocking. But keep in mind, I knocked on a lot of doors. Like, that's not a very common thing. But yeah, it happened, and this is my first time sharing them. So yeah, there you go.